Top 5 observations from Bengals rookie minicamp as of yesterday. Starting off right away, we got Scott Peters was hands-on with offensive linemen, including third-round pick Dylan Fairchild. Now, here's a couple fun facts. If you don't know, Scott Peters was an offensive lineman in the NFL. He actually was drafted, I believe, by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2003. He ended up playing 7 games that year for the Giants, so another team completely. And then he went ahead and played for a couple other teams as backups into 2007. So it's not surprising to see, Scott Peters getting more hands-on with the player because he was an NFL player, right? So he has that kind of, I won't say connection, but he's played the position. He's played the position very well for those 7 games. Again, he didn't play too much in the NFL, but he is a player, okay? He's a former player, which is still very important. Frank Pollock was also a former player, by the way. I think he played 7 years for the San Francisco 49ers. So both of them were players. It looks like, based on what we understand, Scott Peters is more of a hands-on coach, which not every coach is like that. Some coaches are hands-on. Some just kind of sit back and tries to explain to you exactly what they want and the best way they can. While Scott Peters is more like, hey, let me show you what I want. Let me show you what I expect you to do. And then we can move on from there. So, again, it's every coach has their different perspective on how they go about things. Scott Peters is more of a hands-on type of guy, which, to be honest, hopefully it's going to work. I think it will work. I think it'll be very successful. I have a lot of confidence in Scott Peters to fix this offensive line and direct us in the correct direction. So this is just, step 1 of that journey. With that being said, though, in the video we're about to watch, we actually do see Dylan Fairchild, and we are going to see a guy who is undrafted named Caleb Etienne. Caleb Etienne is an offensive tackle from BYU. He is currently, I think, 6'8", 230 pounds. Weight-wise, I might be incorrect. He's 6'8", though. So that's number 77. So there are 2 players on the offensive line right now with unofficial numbers because they're undrafted players. It's Seth McLaughlin, who is number 68, who is unofficial, by the way, and 77, who is, of course, Caleb Etienne. You see on your screen right here. So you have Fairchild on the right, you have Caleb Etienne on the left, and then, of course, you have Scott Peters right there on the right-hand side. So, again, Caleb Etienne, another offensive tackle who's trying to make this roster. We'll have to wait and see, but any of these guys that have unofficial numbers, which there isn't many left, but the undrafted guys always will have unofficial numbers. If they make the 53-man roster, they're probably going to be asked if they want to keep that number or if they would like to change that number out and change for a new number. So, for example, 77 is not Caleb Etienne's official number. So just keep that in mind. On the team's website, the undrafted guys, they don't have official numbers, and they won't because there's really no point to give them official numbers. Now, if we sign somebody, let's say we sign an offensive guard and he wants to be 77, I believe he can take that jersey number from Caleb Etienne here. So just keep that in mind. Also, we got an update on Seth McLaughlin, who says and claims that he will be ready to go by training camp. Now, he was a 3rd or 4th round pick before getting injured. So, of course, we'll see how he does. But he right now is sitting as our 3rd string center on this roster right behind Matt Lee. So he has some good praises. I'll say that. He has some really high praises coming from college. So I'm really hoping and looking forward to seeing what he can do. But our big update, though, is that he says he's progressing well, and hopefully I'm back by training camp. And that's what all the experts are saying, and obviously that's what he is saying as well. So hopefully he is back. Again, this is a guy who only played center in college, so we don't know if he'll ever transition to guard. Potentially he will. We have to wait and see. Dante Barnett from England. He, of course, is the international program where they bring someone over from a different country over to America in the NFL to give them a chance to join the NFL. Now, keep in mind, if we do go ahead and keep him, he will not count toward the 50 or the 16-man practice squad because he is international. So, for example, if he doesn't make the team and we want him on our practice squad, we can technically have 17 players as long as we are including him. So, international players do not count against your practice squad because the NFL is promoting teams to try to get international players in the NFL so that they can go more international with things. So just keep that in mind. He will not count toward that. So we can keep him for pretty much free if you want to be honest here. We don't have to worry about, getting rid of him. We don't have to worry about him counting toward another roster spot on the practice squad. So kind of a cool little factor. And also he is number 69, which is not the official number. And if someone does join the squad and makes a 53-man roster and they want 69, they can have 69. Next thing on the docket here, we have the top long snapper in college, top long snapper in this year's class, signed with the Bengals with a 3-year starter to compete with 3-year starter Cal. So I think Cal's going to win the job, personally speaking. I love Cal, but hey, at this point, again, it's all about competition. It's all about bringing in as many players as possible and see what they can do. And if he wins a starting job, he wins a starting job. And the final point that Dan makes here is about undrafted players and how, yes, undrafted players in the past have made the Bengals 53-man roster, and they will in the future. At the end of the day, yes, it's a little bit more difficult and challenging for an undrafted guy to make a 53-man roster, but it's not impossible, especially given our circumstances right now with our defensive line and, well, defense in general. Well, not defensive line especially, but our defense in general. If you want to make a Bengals roster, come make the Bengals roster, okay? You can do it. At this point, we need anyone who's going to play at the top of their ability and give us a better chance to win. So we don't really care if you're undrafted, drafted, whatever. If you want to show us how great you are and help us win, we are all for it because all we care about right now is getting that Lombardi trophy. So anyone who wants to be on this team has a chance to be on this team. But with that being said, guys, make sure to like and subscribe button down below. I apologize, video's coming out late today. My microphone broke, so I get another microphone. It's a mess. My keyboard also broke, so we've been grinding a lot today, guys. But you know what? We are back up in business, so hopefully everything's good. But through the grace of God, everything will be. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.